Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and today we're going to talk about how bearing is just asking for it. I've been thinking about this video for a while, and I've gone back and forth on whether or not I even want to get into this, but after having just finished watching Bearing's hangout with Ranting Feminist, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Something that has absolutely just baffled me for a long time is how exactly Bearing became the antichrist of the YouTube feminist community. I get them not liking him, he certainly gives them reason not to, but so have a lot of other YouTubers. Bearing can be insulting towards the subject of his videos, but so are a lot of other people. Bearing has a large audience, but so do a lot of other people, some much bigger than him. When Bearing makes a video, a portion of his audience goes to the original video and gives the creator shit. And guess what? Same thing happens with a lot of other channels. From what I can see, this cry-bullying shit should, at the very least, be spread around a lot more. For a while I thought maybe it was because of how fast Bearing grew. His channel did kind of have a meteoric rise. I also considered that maybe it was because he's able to produce videos so quickly without them just being spam. But again and again, exceptions existed to every scenario I could think of as to why he became the subject of the hate, how he became the ultimate bully. I had one last guess, and this hangout he did with Ranting Feminist pretty much confirmed it for me. Bearing brings this shit on himself, but not because he's the cunt he's made out to be, which he can be, but it's actually the exact opposite. I want to highlight just one exchange from the hangout. I'm not going to rip on the Ranting Feminist, but she says something that just is fucking mind-blowing. They are discussing this exchange from Bearing's video, Nice Girl Misinformed About Feminism.
Because in the US, a woman is raped every 6 seconds.
Nope. According to the FBI, there's about 90,000 rapes per annum in the US, and that's counting men, women and children. Now there's 60 seconds in a minute, 3,600 seconds in an hour, 86,400 seconds in a day, and 31,536,000 seconds in a year. Divide this by 6 and that would mean there's 5,256,000 rapes a year in the US, about 26 times the actual number.
In the interest of full disclosure, Bearing did find this video when Michael Rowlands highlighted it on Twitter, and this was at the height of Chicken Fucker's little tantrum, so part of this video being made might have just been to irritate Rowlands. However, Bearing was not mean in this video. As he was during the part we just saw, he was pretty respectful and just corrected the bad information she was spreading, which came from a BuzzFeed article published in September of 2014 titled 14 Reasons We All Need Feminism. It's linked below, and that rape stat is number 7. As Bearing showed, that number is just ridiculously wrong. But in the comments to the original video, which of course has been removed, PhD Christy Winters and some of her gaggle of gynocentric man-haters left replies telling the girl how right she was. In the hangout, Bearing was trying to understand why these supposedly smart women wouldn't correct the glaring mistakes and actually encouraged them. Ranting Feminist basically says it's because they only disagree in private to keep a united front.
Most of the disagreeing that happens in feminist movement is not as obvious in your face on YouTube. It's more on other platforms you tend to see it more strongly. And also the disagreements between feminists usually aren't what anti-feminists are interested in. Anti-feminists seem to crave this kind of wrecked bullshit and this whole, animosity. They seem to like that, and we just aren't really doing that as much.
So what are you saying, that you simply agree with each other to give anti-feminists what they want?
Well, no, it's more because if I disagree publicly with another feminist, then I know exactly what response I'm going to get. I'm going to get a bunch of anti-feminists flooding my channel with, "Oh, I wish more feminists were like you. You're so good. You speak rationally because you disagree with this feminist. You should make more videos disagreeing with feminists. Disagree with more feminists. Disagree with more feminists." And at what point
disagree
do I
with
just
anyone
become...
that should be disagreed with. Disagree with anyone that's wrong. Simple.
I mean, that's what you're saying, but I feel like I don't want to end up selling out and just being another anti-feminist because it's popular. I want to say my own beliefs. And
in case you missed it, what she said is that she doesn't correct other feminists, even if she thinks they're wrong, because she would be seen as rational, it would be selling out, and she wants to say what she believes. Let me repeat that. She doesn't correct people she thinks are wrong because she wants to say what she believes. What the fuck? And this is where we get to what Bearing's doing wrong. Despite all the bullshit about what a bully Bearing is, he became the boogeyman, Bogeybear, because he's a nice guy. Yeah, he says cunt a lot and he can be otherwise insulting, but he seems to have a real belief in the intelligence of other people. Here we see him trying to have a rational argument with someone who says they don't say what they actually believe because they will be seen as rational. He's trying to have a logical conversation with somebody who has no use for logic. It's literally more important to these people to agree publicly than to be factually correct. Take that hive mind mentality and throw in the arrogance of how they also seem to think anyone who disagrees with them is just not as smart as they are. That's where the trouble starts brewing. Bering engages them in what should be reasoned debate, but when he doesn't agree with what they believe to be their superior intellect, it makes them angry. We saw this on the TEDx live stream he did with the Motivator and Chicken Fucker. He stood his ground with logic and facts, and that led to accusations that he supports rape. I don't want Bering to change, and I don't think he would if I asked him to. I think it's great that in this jaded world, he's still willing to try and bridge the gaps and have intelligent debates, but it's just not really possible with these people. Even as amicably as the hangout with Ranting Feminist ended, nothing changed. Even being shown how illogical she was didn't make a fucking dent. In her mind, it was just a difference of perception. Solidarity with people who are absolutely, unquestionably wrong, but on her side, is more important than facts or being right. That's insanity. But at least I have my answer. Bering became the Bogeybear because that cunt is just too fucking nice. Silly bear. That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I'm the Ranting Monkey, and I will see you next time.